A class action complaint filed in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois details 40 universities have allegedly conducted a price-fixing strategy that could have raised tuition costs for students with non-custodial guardians. This includes 2 area universities that are named as defendants in the lawsuit. 12 News' Kevin Quinn has more details.
Along with the 40 universities named in this class action complaint, the College Board is also named as a defendant. The complaint states in 2006, the College Board required schools to consider the income and assets of non-custodial parents for financial aid. It's alleged this effort was led by the universities named in the suit. According to the lawsuit, this is done by requiring students to submit a CSS profile, an application used to award non-federal institutional aid. The alleged usage of this pricing strategy by the 40 defendant universities causes a $6,000 difference in tuition pricing as opposed to 10 top 50 universities that do not require this financial information to be provided. Here locally, both Cornell and Syracuse universities were named as defendants. 12 News reached out to both schools for comment, who say they're unable to comment on pending litigation. 12 News also reached out to the College Board for comment, who says, quote, College Board has just received this legal action and are reviewing it, but we are confident that we will prevail in this action. One plaintiff named in the complaint attended Cornell from 2017 to 2021. The plaintiff emailed the university to ask for the removal of her non-custodial parent's income, which was much higher than her other parent because the non-custodial parent was on disability and unable to contribute. The request was denied, and the plaintiff was told that her non-custodial parent was expected to help with tuition. The complaint was filed by law firm Hagens Berman. Managing partner of the firm, Steve Berman, says in part, quote, the financial burden of college cannot be overstated in today's world, and we believe our antitrust attorneys have uncovered a major influence on the rising cost of higher education, end quote. Kevin Quinn, 12 News.